Bonjour, everyone. I just say miigwech and thanks for coming today. I know that the combination with Carl is good day.
I don't know. Magnido, Kotawi, Masala, Makini, Gawa, Babiganika, Obimana, Nini, Obimana, Obidai, Kwe. All my relatives. I introduced myself. My Shinabe name is Brown Bear. I tribal leaders attached tobacco asked for me to speak for teaching today. We did money do because I was in my car and the boom my foot you did it. I was not going to come and do it bar. Anyway, going to do the mama, we did it in our way. Everything you know money do. You know what they do with the woman. You say money do. And that's not the case in money do. Eu, eu não, maba, sei man, amenoa, ino dele nan, igaba gani maaga mo. Ide mani do, igwit, tapna pagkajage sema, igwit, tapna ang gum. Ide mani do. When the disease is a game in the room. We win.
Oh, thank you, miigwech. Thank you, Jeff, for that. Appreciate that. Those words. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. It is 9:32 a.m. Mike, do I do roll call? District 1.
Here.
District 2. District 3.
Here.
And I'm here, Chairman. We have a quorum. We have a quorum. Next up is review and approve the agenda. Any deletions or additions, please?
Chairman, I could add a signatory request from the legal department into executive session. This was circulated to the RBC members yesterday.
What is it?
It's the typical request for a grant.
Henry?
Yes, I'd also like to add, what are we gonna add that to? New business. New business, enrollments in legal department. Letter.
Thank you.
I would request to add an administration contract circulated last night to the consent agenda. And you have hard copies in front of you.
Chairman,
Yes, please.
I would also like to add, the emergency propane assistance. Yeah.
Okay, you want to add that more in
Get an old business.
old business? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, one final for executive session, it'd be an ag discussion from natural resources.
What was that word?
Is it ag discussion, natural resources?
Is it possible we could move the White River Community Council to the first of the council?
Yes, we could do that.
District 2 is online, so he's here. Okay, hearing no more, motion to approve the agenda with the additions.
Motion.
Motion by Michael LaRock,
Second.
second by Henry. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Eugene?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Aye. Are you able to hear me?
Review and approve the meeting minutes.
Oh, you guys got me on mute, I think.
There he is. There he is.
Did you guys, can you guys hear me or no?
Aye. Yeah.
Motion carries.
Okay, I'm watching the live stream too. I don't know.
Motion to approve the meeting minutes for 9/27/24.
Motion.
Motion by Mike,
Second.
second by Laura Lee. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Miigwech. Next, other reports. First report is mine, of course. It's last quarter, and thinking about what our tribal council did, and some of the things that I highlighted here. I don't want to take too much time up, but we talk about Minnesota Indian Affairs Council. I sit on that council. The tribal chairmen from all 11 bands, attend these meetings with the state of Minnesota and the commissioners, and we work through things, we organize, we sit down together, we try to get solutions, but sometimes there's problems at a different level with that. And I know that one of the things that I know Secretary Treasurer Fine Day from Leech Lake, invite all of us to meet to talk about this Grand Council, which would be a part of this spin-off of the Minnesota Indian Affairs Council. So we met down in Lower Sioux, and we talked about a lot of different things. We talked about things like at that legislative level. And some of the things that we talked about, of course, gaming, like sports book. We talk about 4 walls. I have that on my, we'll talk about that today too. But, these things that maybe at that national, that federal level, that how we as 11 tribal nations can come together at this council level to be proactive on different things. So, I really like the concept. I think it's good for, the betterment of all of us, not just White Earth or Leech Lake or Lower Sioux or Prairie Island. It's all of us that we all benefit from them. So I really like that. And that was the update I had for that. And the next one should be coming up. I think we're going to try to meet quarterly. Hopefully I'll get something out to everyone when we meet. The next one I have is the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Tamarack Refuge. We had our, signing here not too long ago at the RBC. We did our, we signed a co-stewardship agreement. So that was something that I was really happy about. I know we had some people that came in, and of course U.S. Fish was there, but we did have some guests that were there. And a lot of support staff was there, our legal department, and everyone else showed up. And I was very pleased with how that all turned out. I know the regional director and even Ken from Tamarack, they were all there too. And so far, knock on wood, it's been really good and smooth with that. And I praise our legal department and Dre here and her expertise and moving us through this, through this next, part of getting the Tamarack Refuge, and I think the next steps are we're going to do this, I think this winter and spring, that we will be looking at the AFA, looking at different funding agreements. So I know that's something that's exciting for us, because eventually that we're going to be managing it. Our DNR will be managing Tamarack. So I'm really excited about that. So the other one I have is the White Earth State Forest. I know we're just starting those talks again. We're, talking to the tribal council here that, we're talking and being strategic about, how we're going to come at it this year. This past week on Tuesday, myself and our lobbyist, we sat down with Representative Rick Hansen, the chair of the Natural Resources Committee, and we had some really, really good conversations with him on not only our state forests, but also other things that are happening around the state when it comes to our water. These are things that we're talking about, and it's really good to hear and work with Representative Hansen here in the upcoming legislation. So, these are things that, at my job at that level and making creating these relationships and having that communication with representatives, and senators, and it's something that's really kind of delicate when it comes to, how we want to move or negotiate or what we're going to do with what White Earth Nation wants to move forward on. And these are all the initiatives across, all the areas. So that's one thing I'm really happy to talk about. The other one was MASS, Midwest Alliance of Sovereign Tribes. That's a consortium of all 5 states. We went out to Green Bay and talked and sat down and we talked about a lot of different ideas, a lot of different things that are happening around the Midwest. I know there's tribes that are around us that, with anywhere from cannabis to medical to health to, the sub problems out there. We all sit down at that meeting and we talk about all the federal issues too out there. So I know that's something that we're proud to be a part of that. So we have a voice there. We can talk. We elected a new chairman or a new president of MASS. It was chief executive from Mille Lacs is our new president of MASS. That's Virgil Wynn. So that was something that was a really good, progressive meetings out there. So next one is and I talked about MIAC, and then the next I'm talking about these commissioners that come up and visit us. We have Commissioner of Health, Commissioner of, Health and Human Services, the Commissioner of Revenue come up and see us too. So, at these levels, when we meet with these commissioners, of course, we always welcome the gay, come on over to White Earth. We also invite them up. We sit down, we talk to them, go over our action items that we want to present to them on how we're doing things and how we're being progressive and how we're helping our people. And they're the ones that get that give us the state funding for a lot of our different programs. So we have to communicate with them. And at that level, and having those relationships with those commissioners is really vital to our nation too. And fortunately that we're doing good with them, that we could talk and sit down and be cordial and be direct with them. So sometimes I know we have to say things to them that, they don't understand or, that we have to give them our point of view. So it's something that I really like that and always kind of excited that when we have our commissioners come visit us here within our borders. So 4 walls, we had a discussion yesterday. This has been ongoing. This is something that's kind of at a federal level. CMS, Centers for Medicaid Assistance. 4 walls is something that, kind of revolves around a lot of our third-party billing, around our sub-programs, around a lot of different areas. And these conversations are still happening. Even as of yesterday, we talked to Katie Marks. She's a tribal liaison at the federal level under HHS. So these are things that are delicate to us, and these are things that we're trying to iron out. So it's not like severe, but I think White Earth is in a good spot here. I think that we have enough positions. We have, we're doing good, and that's the thing that I sit up here and not to throw promises or whatever, all this, this cloud or whatever. I'm here to tell you from my heart that I work hard for you, and I'm transparent. I talk to you, I call back. So these are things that I'm really happy and I'm really glad to see. And I guess the last thing I wanted to, discuss was the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe meeting, the TEC meeting we had this last Wednesday. We sat down, we went over some of the things about our court battles with, because we had to go in there to get some support for our cases that we have within our nation. We have Bipon versus White Earth and I think RDO versus White Earth. So we needed some support from them. We got our support. We got our letters. So these are things that when we go to attend these meetings that we need the support not only from the Minnesota, the Tribal Executive Committee, but also like MASS and all these other little organizations that really help us and get us that information and support that we need so we can move forward and protect what we have. Because remember, the main thing that I in the council is to protect our water and our lands for our next generations. This is so vital and important to us, and this is for all of us. I don't think about me or my kids or my grand. I think about all of us in this room, even the non-natives. I fight for. The ones that are not even born, I fight for. So these are things that I think are really, really important for us as a tribal nation to be the headway out there and to be the leader, to be the one to be out there to talk and to put these battles down and fight for what is right for us and our people. So I want to say Miigwech and thank you, and Miigwech for coming today. And I'll pass the mic to Michael. Miigwech. You.
Ani Buju. I'm gonna be kind of brief. I did hand out my quarterly report, Mr. Chairman, and I probably need action on that. I handed it out to all. It's gonna be in the paper. It's gonna be put on the website. I would just look for a motion to accept my quarterly report, Chairman.
Okay, Michael's looking for a motion to accept this quarterly report.
Motion.
Motion by Laura Lee, second by Eugene. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Miigwech. And it'll be in the paper. It'll be in next month's paper. And plus, if anybody wants a copy, they can come up and grab a copy of it. So I'm just going to be pretty brief about what, this last quarter, what we've been doing is, Chairman pretty much covered everything. So, but I just want to let everybody know that, this time of year is our legislative stuff, and we're doing a lot of traveling. So I've been going out to, this month, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be gone quite a bit this month and probably next month. So, but I just kind of let you know that we been working on the financial part of it for FY 2025. We did approve a budget at last month's meeting for FY 2025, and just that whole process, of our deficit, and we did cut our deficit in half from the last year 2024 budget, which is really cool. The less we got to take from our reserves, the better off we're going to be. So, and we can use some of that reserves for some of our capital projects and some of the other things that we have to do here within White Earth Nation. So, the other thing that this last quarter that I've been attending meetings with our CFO Tracy Lotka on the state tax agreements, renegotiating our state tax agreements. I believe our state tax agreements have not been negotiated since like '97. So it's a long time coming. So, but one of the things that the state of Minnesota is also doing though, is instead of going individual tribe by tribe, they're trying to go with all 11 tribes and meeting on this. And I don't think that's really a fair statement or a fair way to go about it, because certain tribes are larger in enrollment, larger in land, and and there's a lot of things to it. So, but I just didn't want one tribe negotiating. We're at 50% right now. If one comes out of the gate and negotiates to 70%, and all of a sudden they lock in at 70%, and the next tribe comes in and locks in at 90, it's not really fair to one tribe to another. So we've been kind of dealing with that with that at the state tax agreement side of it. So our state sales tax agreement. So. But nevertheless, we've been forging through with that, and the state of Minnesota Department of Revenue has been really, really good with us, but their timeline is a little bit lengthy, and we think it should be shortened up. They want to get it done before, before the governor's term is up, they said so, and that's in 2026. So I think we can get it done before that. So. But other than that, I've been trying to get to the Council of Elders meetings. I've been trying to get over there. I've been attending the Gaming Commission meetings, Wabigon, Mishkiki, their Board of Directors meetings, and also been attending the White Earth Enterprises meetings when I can get on them and all that if we don't have a conflict. So, but a couple of things that maybe the chairman didn't mention is we did hire a new self-governance coordinator. That works closely with myself and some of the other grant writers and some of the other areas of our self-governance departments, I guess you would say. One of the things that we've been working on is the Tawahi initiative. That Tawahi initiative, Red Lake, and there's a couple other tribes that have been a Tawahi initiative tribe for the last probably 8 to 10 years. They've been receiving probably anywhere from $2 to $3 million a year for their Tawahi initiatives that covers some of their tribal courts. It covers tribal courts, public safety. It covers a lot of things that the general fund is covering now, so. But we're an incubator tribe right now. We're one of 10 tribes that are incubator tribes. We receive about $100,000 on the Tuahi funds right now, so. And I'll be going, me and the self-governance coordinator will be going out to Washington DC here in November to the TBEC, the Tribal Interior Budgeting Committee, and fighting for some of that stuff for us on the self-governance side of it, so. And being us a self-governance and a 280 tribe, there's a lot of things we have to fight for, especially funding, federal funding, so. And on the other hand, with the state funding, the impact aid money, we received that in July, and that helped out our general fund this year, so. And like anything else, we grow and we grow. You know, a lot of people would say, you know, how come your budget is so high? Well, we grow every year. You know, we gain employees, we gain not really divisions, but you know, and the other thing is we've been doing some wage studies with each one of our departments, you know, and trying to get them up to the wage, doing a wage study and getting them up to an area where it competes with all the other areas, you know, even down in the cities area and all that. So, but we've been working on that also. So, but we've been very busy, and if I forget anything else, I'll probably just butt in later and try to ask again. Our wild rice season was actually pretty good. I know, Chairman, we ended a strong season again with our wild rice. We ended up paying $9 a pound in the end. You know, I mean, and one of the things that we look at is that White Earth and Leech Lake, the only two tribes in Minnesota that had wild rice this year. So, and I think they got about 150,000 pounds. We were at about 284,000 pounds of green rice that finished out to probably about 121 plus pounds of finished rice. One of the things that I've always wanted to do is people will put out there, you're paying $9 a pound, so come this winter, everybody's gonna get gouged on the finished product. Well, we use it as a service and a sustainability. So with our USDA contract, if we're fortunate enough to get our USDA contract again, that'll sustain most of our costs. We're paying that price and most of our costs for the people that go out and actually are buying the rice and the processing fees and all that. So we're in a good place there also. So we can keep those prices for our elders and our tribal members at a decent price. And the rumors are not true. The price of rice as of right now is not going up. It isn't. The elders are paying $6.50 and I think the membership's paying $8. So that's not going to go up as far as I know right now. So, but look at we met with MnDOT. Chairman covered a lot of their stuff that I'm not going to repeat. So MIAC was good. Budget meetings, Hawaii, all rice season, council of elders, all that stuff. I think this tribal council is in a good place. I really do. We want to move forward, and we continue to move forward. In the 2.5 years, or even 2.5 years that I've been on council, I can honestly say that that's my biggest thing is that I want to move forward. You know, these community councils, the urban council, the Cass Lake council, the Marble council. I haven't been over to Iron Range, and I apologize, Louis, for not making it over to your meeting. And I can apologize ahead of time because I'm going to be out in DC during your event, and I won't be able to make your event. So, but I got to get over there, and we have to start looking at our membership in urban offices, in the Cass Lake and that. So I know we had some divisions go down with their tribal IDs, wild rice, and our White Earth Ojibwe Enterprises went down, and they just came back this last week. And I know there was a little snafu with somebody. We ran out of rice down there to sell to some of the members, but be assured that we will make another day. We'll have another day down there to where we can provide the sales of wild rice down there again. So our membership doesn't have to drive all the way up here from the urban office to buy rice. And I know the other community councils off the reservation also request, the tribal IDs and everything also too. Just be patient with us. We'll get that taken care of. So we know how important you guys are down our area. And we're actually coming into the holiday season. Halloween's coming up, and I dread being we're going to be at on national, the Council of American Indians. We're going to be there. We're going to be in Las Vegas during Halloween, and I just kind of dread being in Las Vegas at Halloween time. So there's going to be some scary characters down there. So I think I'm just going to stay in my room that night, I think. So Let's have a good day, guys, and it's the weather's holding out. I mean, we don't got any snow yet. We're supposed to be 70s next week, so everybody have a good weekend. Miigwech, everyone. I'm gonna hand it over to District 1.
Yeah, what he said.
Hello.
Awesome, good, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our meeting. I see we got quite a few here today. Looks good. I'll probably hit a little bit on Rice Lake Community Council update too. I know they're pretty busy. They have their haunted trail tomorrow evening over there. Through the power grounds there. It's always been pretty good. This is about the 4th year they've done it. Gets better every year, gets colder every year. Rice Lake Tiny Elder Homes, we do have applications now. And we do probably have about 10 of them that are going into Optima. Yesterday we sent them in, so. But we're still waiting on more apps. I guess down in the metro area, we had some interest, so we finally got a hold of them and sent them apps out. So the apps are going to go through Optima now, but then they're going to go through our board, like our Dream Catcher Home board. That's what we added tiny homes to. So don't think I'm putting anybody in there because I'm not going to do the picking. No way, no. But we get it, I get it every day, you know. When do I get to move in? And it's like, didn't you just go out of half? I mean, we gotta pick them first. And I hate that when it comes down to, you know, especially homeless, where you got 10 homes and you got 20 applications, you know. And I hope it goes smoothly. I know everything is probably done. We run into a little bit of electrical, some water stuff on them, but as of this week, I believe they're all complete. And we're just waiting for the app process to see who's going to get in there. So, I mean, they're really nice homes. You know. Also, Rice Lake had their demolition derby here, which was, you know, a good turnout. They really like crashing up cars over that way and Pine Point and stuff. I also built a little Baja pickup that I put in the Clearwater County Fair this year. It was a little 4-cylinder Chevy S10. And they put me in with the big boys, so I pushed around a little bit, but I made it, so I still got that little bugger too. But, so if anybody ain't doing nothing, you know, tomorrow night we got the haunted trail ride there. We just got, you know, trucks pulling trailers through. Safety is our main concern. You know, especially the people scaring, and then if you turn a corner, you know, make sure you don't run nobody over. I mean, and it happens. We run over a foot, a leg, you know, and stuff, but that's theirs because we told them. Don't come running out, you might fall. No. But, so come on up, guys. They got hot chocolate, they got giveaway and stuff, so.
That out, it's by Strawberry or is that?
Nope, that's out very nicely. Right behind the power ground there. We go through the woods and come out on the highway and stuff.
Time, please. Time.
Dark time. During the day. No, I believe it's 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock at the church. That's the village church there. Right before you go to the power ground, that's their location that they're going to use. So come on over. Oh, you can be a scarer too if you want. So you got a mask?
Come on.
All right. Well, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to get going here. So here's all Eugene.
Two. Eugene.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, I think I'm gonna start off with August 1st. So in August, the RBC had the swearing in of the new officers. We began buying wild rice at $6.50 a pound, and I think that first week we bought like 4,817 pounds. Let me see. In NATO Wash, we had some bear issues this summer. We had 62 bear complaints, and then we trapped and relocated 20 bears. And then we're adding a buffalo herd up in the NATO Wash, the old Spencer farm. We just had a contingency meeting on it, I think 2 days ago. It looks like the buffalo program is actually going to be doing very well, and I'm really excited for that. Just happy to be a part of that whole all that work. And then we've been working a lot with the Department of Transportation and getting a lot of road projects done throughout District 2. Yeah, I know in NATO Wash we just finished up on the projects, and then the drum hall, and I think we did Riverland last month, finished that up, and then I think we're working on Elkhorn Road right now, doing all the tribal lots. And then the D2 Elder Village. So we're still doing the groundwork and still getting the utilities and everything ran to there. I've been getting a lot of requests on when the applications will be coming out. And I really want to just focus on getting all the infrastructure and everything set up there, so the houses are turnkey ready, and then we'll get the applications out there so we can move people in right away. And then let's see, I attended the Tribal State Agreement and Black Bear Casino in August. Had a couple conversations with the Department of Children, Youth, and Family Services. And then we just had some discussion on the Indian Child Welfare Act and Minnesota Family Preservation Act. Let me see the Department of Human Services. Then we did meet with DHS at the casino on August 27th regarding just billing, behavioral health, and mental health restrictions. And we'll jump over to September. So in September, like Chairman was talking about, we established the Grand Council, and I volunteered to jump on 2 subcommittees within the Grand Council, so that I'd be on the Wild Rice Subcommittee and also the Cannabis Subcommittee. And then let's see, our wild rice season. We already went through that one, so I'll just skip over that. I guess our property management. So we are looking at getting into, or we have a new property manager. We got rid of DW Jones, and I know they're going to be doing some work over at Gewannikam, and then the tiny homes projects they're going to be managing. And I don't know, from the meetings I've been to, it's been very productive, and I think it's gonna work out pretty good. And I think we're gonna get our properties to where we need them, where we can start investing in more housing, and I think it's gonna be really good. Let's see. Then I guess I'll just go over to this month, and then I just wrote down some highlights and things that I'm working on. So the wellness center, I've been working on that the past 2.5 years. So we did secure land. We have land now. We have the design. So when we were first lobbying for this, we didn't have the land. We had a partial design, so now we have both of that. So we're going to be lobbying pretty hard to get some funding to get the wellness center, get that project going. And then with Whiter Tribal and Community College, they have a couple of projects going on right now. They're also adding a wellness center and some classroom space over there. The Riverland Road looks really, really, really busy right now. We had Wabi Glen's growing an outdoor grow there for the soil to oil program, and then the Menomin overpass. So that's an ongoing project. We're kind of in from what I'm getting out of the meetings, is that it's a really unique situation. It's we don't have a lot of options, so there's a lot of studies that are going on, a lot of preliminary studies to determine the best spot to put this overpass. And this is like my first time doing a project like this, so like I really don't know what to expect. So I kind of just listen on and take recommendations. So the road projects, I know NATO Wash, did a couple roads in there. Monoman, we did Riverland Road, and then we did we're doing Elkhorn, and then we did the Drum Hall and Natowash there. We also been doing lot cleanups throughout the whole reservation in all districts, and I'm really happy with that. Been identifying lots that that could be cleaned up and made available. So we're doing a lot of that, and then the Shooting Star Casino, they did their update on the Section 5 with the Orion's Bar, and then we're rolling out more remodels. So I know we're doing the bathroom remodel right now across from the deli. And then some of the new stuff we're working on is the cannabis classes. So Wider Tribal Community College is going to be offering some cannabis classes from Oaksterdam. I'm not going to put out any timelines in there because they could change. I just say wait for look out for the tribal college. They'll be announcing soon. And then at the last MCT meeting this week, let me see, I had an update. So I actually got nominated to be the chair of the education committee, and let's see, an update from there was the JOM funding was extended to first and second generation descendants, so like that upped the student count that we serve. So the old student count was 2,809. So the new student count is 4,674. And then we just did some CD license renewals, and that pretty much summed up the meeting. With the JOM funding extension, or the JOM funding, I don't have too much information on it. I did request it, and I should be receiving that at the next MCT meeting. You see, and then we had the Boys and Girls Club grand opening earlier this month. I know Representative Erickson was there with me, and it was a good turnout. And then just the new playgrounds throughout the reservation has been a really nice project. Happy to see all the kids utilizing the equipment, and just want to give a shout out to our employees and all of our staff that helped out to get those playgrounds built. And then I've been working with White Earth Housing to look at some options of remodeling, Riverland, or doing some updates over there. I'm not going to touch on that because I think that's going to be in their report. And then also there was one more. We're looking at adding some additional housing in the village of Natowash. Still working out still ironing out some of the details, but that's we're working on that right now. But I think that would conclude my report. Miigwech meal.
No. You give an update on the cell tower situation out there?
Oh yeah. So we have the cell tower out there. It's not hooked up yet. I'm not sure. I'll have to get an update from land on when that's going to be hooked up. I thought as soon as it went up, and they put up the hardware, I thought we were connected, but there hasn't been an increase, or hasn't been any signal out there yet. So I guess we'll just have to get an update from the land department to see if they know of any timelines. But as far as I know, everything on our end was done, so it's just a matter of time.
Eugene, I think I did talk to Monty about it, and I asked them when they were going to have it meet. We got one update that said that they already ran fiber to the tower, but then I heard that they didn't run fiber to the tower yet. So I guess we can figure it out and get an update.
No,
I know.
Yeah, so they did run the fiber. I know the contractor that did it. The fiber is ran. I'm not sure what the next steps are. I'm not sure if that's just I'm not sure to reach out to get that answer, but I know the fibers ran, so it should be a pretty easy process from here.
They said November it'll be up and running.
End of November?
November.
Yeah, I heard the end of November. And it's, Eugene, is that a 12-mile radius then, or
those would be questions that the land department would probably have. I never constructed a cell tower before. So.
It'd be something like that thing.
It'll be like that, 12, 20. It'll be close to 15, 20 miles of it.
If I get good bars at 12, and after that, it starts to pop up.
Because your place is Snyder Lake, huh? Yep. We might reach there.
Well, cross country, it's only like 20 miles.
One of those things where you can see the tower, but you can't really use it, huh?
Pretty much. I said build my own tower.
District.
Morning. Morning, everyone. I just want to say thank you for everybody for coming out today. Each month I've been putting my updates also into the paper, so we can also read quite a bit of stuff in there. But the tribal leaders have touched on a lot of the stuff, you know, about that we met with Minnesota DHS recently and their behavior health staff. You know, these conversations are really important because we talk about the withdrawal management. We all know we're dealing with the crisis with the opiates. So collaborating with the state of Minnesota, ensuring that they can help us and navigate through this time is always really important. So we continue to have them conversations. Another big thing was CMS, Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services approved the traditional healing demonstration for 4 states, Arizona, New Mexico, California, and Oregon. So that's a big win for Indian country because it'll help improve access to cultural appropriate healthcare and improving the quality of healthcare and outcomes for our tribal communities. I know our staff has been working on this pretty diligently throughout like the last 6 years also. So we are, you know, paying attention and hopefully we can be the next state on there. We also we consulted with Minnesota PCA Commissioner Katrina Kessler. We talked about the air quality, climate action, solid waste, mining permits, PFAS, law changes. We always want to make sure that we're taking care of our environment. And Representative Summers touched on the property management. We met with them again. So Optima is managing 4 of our properties right now, Dreamcatcher Homes in Ogama, Congregate in White Earth, and the ones are supportive housings and Natowash and Minoman also. So they're doing a really good job. We're getting good feedback from our communities and we're heading in the right direction for that. The other thing, the tribal leaders, we attended the tribal executive committee meeting over in Northern Lights, and that was a pretty good meeting. I am the vice chair on the finance committee. So I just want to remind people that the Minnesota Chippewa tribe offers different loans, renovation, housing loans, construction loans, business loans and home loans. So, you know, just know that opportunity is there if you're looking for a loan too. One of the events that I attended with our Wabbin school was I went out to the Tamarack Lake and our natural resources took a bunch of our kids out to show them how to rice properly. So, you know, they brought the canoes and they did a demonstration on the shoreline, and then they, you know, got their life vests on and their poles and they headed out across the lake. And that was a really good experience for our youth, and they didn't realize how hard of work that it was, you know, and a lot of kids talk about they don't have people to show them. So our natural resource department is doing a really phenomenal job getting out into the communities. I seen they went to the Head Starts and the child cares, and, you know, they put the boats on, you know, just put the canoes on the dry land and put like a little demonstration even for our younger youth. So I always think that's really important to show them and start planting that seed so they understand for future when they get older too. Our natural resource department, you know, we just recently got 3 full-grown buffalo. They're secured and they're up at our ag department right now. 4. I apologize for that. And, you know, they are looking at getting some more here in November, hopefully. So that's always a big thing for the tribe to bring them back home. For our phase 2 home repairs, you know, phase 1 was finished. So we had some applications turned in to help with elders roofs. You know, we're allocated $200,000 each for each district. So we started that project. So, you know, if you have something that you need done on your house, you can always turn in the application also. Weatherization applications are out right now. It's starting to get cold out. So if elders need plastic on your house, just reach out to me or my assistant to let me know if you need an application. She can mail one, or we can get one out to you, or get the elder advocates out to your house also. The energy assistance funding is in, from my understanding, and they'll be distributing that about the second week in November. I know it's getting chilly out right now. For elders, we do have our elder program that can sometimes help with that, or else reach out to the district reps as well. In the community of White Earth, I just want to give an update about our childcare building. You know, October 8th, there was a walkthrough of the building. They're looking to move in mid-November, and then they're going to have a grand opening in November, or not November, February 2025 to hold the grand opening. And for the 4 tiny homes in White Earth, they're still doing some work on them. The decks aren't done yet, but Hogan's Plumbing was there yesterday, so they continue to work diligently to get them on. If you know of anybody that is homeless or, you know, without a house or water, you know, or in a dire situation too, just make sure to let us know so we can get you an application to get you on that list too. Circle of Life Academy is hosting a powwow today. That's going to be 12 o'clock to 3:30. So if any of the community members are able to make it over there. And last night, the White Earth Community Council held a haunted trail and event at the community center, which was a pretty good turnout. They, you know, they did it through the woods, and I was there to help volunteer and help scare a few people. That was the first time doing it through the woods, you know, and I think it turned out pretty good. So for Pine Point, they have the 2 tiny homes. The decks have been put on the homes. You know, the water lines were being dug. So again, just reach out if you want your name on the list for that. The playground installation is all complete for that. In front of the old community center also. So we also have Creators Place out there. That's a nonprofit organization where our tribal members can go and do like 4 to 6 hours of work, and that has been working really good for our community members. We do have a barrier of childcare. There's no childcare, so we have been looking at what we could do, or if anybody or any community members are interested in opening a childcare, please reach out to Kim Lage and let her know that you are interested. And now I'm going to go to Elbow Lake. So we put out the bids for the Boys and Girls Club prior. You know, there was a water main break in there, and there led to be some other issues. We did put it out for bid. The amount was way above budget, so we're just working on which route to take. You know, we're kind of reevaluating the scope to bring the cost down, or do we tear the building down? And I've also been searching for alternate funding to help pay for it. So, you know, it wasn't what we wanted right now, but it doesn't mean we give up, and I'm still working diligently with the staff to figure it out. Callaway, you know, that the playground installation is complete there. Again, we don't have a Boys and Girls Club, but still working with our staff to try to secure some funding. Our Public Works Department was in Callaway, and they just completed some repaving road projects on the south end of town. One other thing is that there's not a community council in Callaway, so we're working on that, and we're excited that we're going to start gathering names of individuals that are interested in that to join that. You know, these community councils really play a vital role in the community. So we're going to put an ad in the paper, and then I'll be updating my Facebook page. So just feel free to reach out to myself or to my assistant, Tiffany Swears, if you're interested to be on that community council. Representative Summers and I went down in August to the urban office. We joined our staff for Employee Appreciation Day that was hosted by their management. You know, being 4 hours away, it's always a barrier, but we want to always show our support. They're doing a really good job of getting services out to our people in the urban office too. So I did attend, Secretary LaRock and I attended the annual Carl Branson Summer Picnic at Minnehaha Park in Minneapolis also. That was a good day, and it was beautiful, so it was good to see everybody down there. So I just want to touch on upcoming events. We have Get Out to Vote, temporary polling places for the state election. They're going to be this weekend at the White Earth Fire Hall from 9 to 3 for Becker County residents. And then we have Natowash Fire Hall from 9 to 3 also for Monona County residents. You know, we have a really crucial election going on. So, you know, remind people to get out and vote. You know, this is going to be right in their backyard. the opportunity, if they need a ride, reach out to your neighbors if they need a ride, so. The other thing, I just want to remind people of the White Earth Veterans Day powwow coming up at the casino is November 10th, 9th and 10th. One other thing, the drug task force meetings we continue to meet monthly, but I also want to remind people, if you see suspicious activity, just make sure to report it, we're all in this together, we can't give up, and, we don't want anything happening to our people. So just make sure to call the White Earth Police Department, Paul Bunyan Task Force, or the counties to report it, just stay on. So that is all for my report, so miigwech.
Anyways, thank you, District Reps, I appreciate that. All right, next up, we have the White Earth Council of Elders. You have the mic. There's a mic right there in front of you, girls.
Thank you. I just wanted to touch up a little bit on over the summer. White Council of Elders would like to, during our off season here, we want to reach out to the water and sewer and get more involved with the snow removal and lawn mowing, and see what we can do to help them direct them, help them figure out that. And we also wanted to get more involved with EMP on the planning of the picnic and the Christmas party and stuff like that. Just be more involved.
And just cancel that.
And we did talk I talked to Daryl about, from Carroll about the plastic in the windows and stuff, so he's moving in the right direction with that to try to get those applications out there for the elders. But we still need a storage unit. We've got a couple of people reaching out to us with some donations for, so that we can go forward with planning on having elders helping elders with small repairs. So we're still looking for a storage unit. I know Meg was checking into that, so.
With Bernie.
We'd also like to sit down and talk with roads too, about driveways repair and stuff like
No, I
that.
was gonna help you with, because you know that stack on 59 there, they got those storage units there? Have you guys checked in with them at all?
No.
Okay.
Number on those.
Huh?
You can call that number on those and
Yep,
it's a
okay.
long number.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can get a hold of Bernie and have him reach out to you guys and see where he got his storage units from, so. Okay.
And then, the Race Lake Fair, Race Lake's having a diabetic fair on the 13th from 2 to 6 too, so we'd like to see if we can get some transportation up there for that too. And the inauguration, we attended that, and that was totally awesome. Thank you guys. It was great. Also, too, along with September 18th, the Elders Picnic. Everybody had a great time, and mental health was out there with our behavioral health was out there with the giveaways and stuff like that. So that was really nice. We heard a lot of good feedback from our Elders Picnic, and that's why we want to get more involved in those things. We did have an October meeting, October 1st in White Earth, and we have our next one in Race Lake coming up next month, and I believe that's
Hey, yeah,
the same day as election day.
Yep.
Yep, on the 5th. So, and let's see, and we did just have a health fair in Natawash on the 23rd of October, which was well attended too. I mean, I think they had a lot more people this year than they did last year. I mean, it was just, it was phenomenal. And then, so I'm just going to turn it over to Colleen for explaining and give an update on our expenditures. Thank you.
I have kind of like a half of a statement because of getting it earlier. So, but we did receive our fourth quarter of $5,000 and I deposited it in our savings account. And we have $56,841.98 in there. And we're setting aside, the 15,000 is in there is the trip to the national convention that will be held in September, and that's in Oklahoma. And then, the checking is $7,461.28. So that's, it's the, treasurer's report. Yep.
So we would have money for the food.
Yeah, we could, come up with money, for the storage unit. He doesn't have to be out there begging.
Free is sometimes good.
Yeah, right, yeah. So, but, Sam, you have anything?
Morning. I've got, Pine Point and, I guess I want to start by saying thanks for the RBC for their input and support and services for, when and where needed. Laura Lee's done a wonderful job. She isn't here on Wednesdays with our food shelf. The secretary is and meets with the elders there. And, they have a lot of, we've got, our food shelf has been cut in half. We went from 15 tables of food that delivered to elders down to 5 some days and sometimes even 2 or 3. And I'm working on that, meeting with Park Rapids. They're building a brand new building to get more food coming in and LD come into Park Rapids. So we got an extra grocery store now donating. And I will probably be maybe looking into Detroit Lakes, going to Central Market and seeing if we can maybe get, people have been asking me in Whitehorse if we can get food shelves set up there too. And get food delivered, and I'll work with Laura Lee on that a little bit later. The elders really feel a little off when they lose 50% of the food they get on Wednesday, especially towards the end of the month when there's food shelf. I mean, if they're like I am, if I apply for SNAP or food stamps, I get $15 a month. But food the way it is, I don't even pay to go to town. If you have to go and hire a ride or something, it's terrible the way the amount of food that single elders, which a lot of elders are single and live by themselves. And we're working on, I'd like to work with that, Whitehorse Financial or Whitehorse Aid to see if we can get better situation for them with food stamps. Many elders have reached out to me and for services and questions on issues that it seems like they're not being addressed. When I don't come to a meeting, they don't get addressed at all because a lot of them can't make it here and stuff, and the transportation issues. But I take it back to them, and right now we had an elder that needed a washer and dryer. He lives just by himself, and he needed a washer and dryer. And I reached out to the RTC, and right now he's in Fargo in the hospital. He called me this morning. He said he's getting out today, and he got a call from someone. I'm not sure who. If the RTC was involved or financial services, I went through financial services, and they okayed him to get a washer and dryer. So I thank all of you, the programs that helped him out. The EMP site in Pine Point is up and running, and I'm hearing many fine things about it. The food is there, it's better, it's warm, and it's there, and we got 2 cooks there all the time now, and serving and delivering. We went from maybe 4 or 5 people eating in the center to 15 now. We have 15 individuals coming into the center to eat. And they're really thankful that center is open. So, and thank you for working hard on that, Laura Lee, too, and getting the Pine Point Center open, I thank you. They say the food's getting much better, it's being cooked right on site and stuff too. And there's leftovers and stuff that they can take home if they need to. Elders are inquiring about plastic for the windows. Can you address that issue? I worked on it for the last 3 years with plastic on windows in Pine Point. I had a crew. I always wanted to say that we want to start the first week in November with a deadline of having all plastic on all the houses in Pine Point for elders by Thanksgiving. And this year it might be a little tough to do because they're talking a pretty severe winter, so I'd like to get that on by Thanksgiving. I'll work with Laura Lee on that. Law enforcement in the Pine Point area. At least once or twice a week, I get a call from an elder that they need law enforcement, but they just doesn't seem to be any from Pine or from Whiter PD or Becker County Sheriff's Department. They want to know what can be done. I mean, weekends and nights, it's rampant out there. Houses being destroyed, people stealing, elders are afraid at night and stuff. And we need to get a hold of the PD and, I guess they're really busy. I came through Oklahoma this morning and 2 of them were sitting on the same side of the road watching for speeders. So, and then I met another one heading that way besides. So, I mean, we would like to see the same thing in Pine Point. During a day goes by that the 2 communities, Ponsford and Pine Point, you can sit in either one of them in a half hour's time. I had a Becker County deputy be there last summer, and within a 15 to 20 minute period of time, he wrote 6 tickets for being 50 and a 30 or more. And he even said, come up and told me, I don't believe it. He said, I can be writing a ticket and they'll go right by me 50 miles an hour. Cop cars don't scare them. Sitting in a cop car does not scare them. The only thing that scares them is tickets. So, I mean, whoever's in charge of the PD, I'd like to see him come to these meetings and attend them. But I've already talked with Todd Landers about it in his department, and he sends a guy out there. He'll sit there for 5 minutes, sit in the car, and everybody sees him. They slow down to 30 miles an hour. He's gone. He don't get 5 miles down the road, and they're right back doing 70 miles an hour through both communities. That is an issue that we'd like to do. Right now, out in Pine Point, the Catholic Church is being re-sided. They put a brand new siding on it because they vandalized the side of it, sprayed symbols all over the side of the Catholic Church. So, and that's an issue they do in broad daylight. I guess that's probably my only issues that we have out there. And our next, like Tim said, our next meeting is in Rice Lake. And I would like to see as many elders as we can come in. And I hope we got room for elders. The little small place, if we have an overflow, can we use a gymnasium or something?
Yeah, Head Start or Boys and Girls Club will have it.
Okay.
We got Head Start and Boys and Girls Club right in the same center. Today we're burying my little great nephew, 1.5 years old. But when that happens, then ENP's gotta close, Boys and Girls Club's gotta close, Head Start's gotta close.
Yeah.
So.
If I understand that, our food shelf runs into that. We've had a couple, 2 or 3 funerals out in Pine Point, well, 3 in the last 30 days. So, and people are starting to realize that the food shelf is needed too, and they kind of schedule funerals around it with the funeral home. But if it is, we've shut down for that too. So.
Sam, if we could take a look at that, that building that's right next to the schooler that Winona was leasing from us. If we could talk to our land department and find out where that lease is at and see if we're able to get that building back off that lease and maybe look at maybe using that building and utilizing that building, or maybe you could use it for your food shelf. I'd put that out there now. I don't know. I'm not promising anything. I'm just saying that we could take a look at it and see, because if it's pretty centrally located right there. Wouldn't be hard for you guys to be able to work out of that building. It's only every Wednesday, correct?
Yeah, we were left at home, the food shelf only on Wednesdays, and then Jim's program the same way. They set up in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Once a month on the Wednesday too, so.
I know it's pretty central right at the old school there and everybody knows where it's at, but there's nothing saying that we couldn't do that. So I was just thinking about that right now, and I was thinking that that building next to the school there.
I mean, I think they maybe used it, a total of 1 week.
Well, we'll have to take a look at the lease, because they did sign a lease on it, so we'll have to take a look and see where they're at with that lease on it, so.
That originally was supposed to be the elders, and then,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, but yeah, I think, we'll check and see if somebody's in there. If they're not, we'll figure something out, so.
All right, in closing, I want to say, to talk to everybody and tell them, if you've ever voted in an election, the one coming up is probably going to be the one that everyone should vote in. This one's going to be crucial to Native people, more than any election I think we've had in my lifetime, 70 years. So if you can, get out and vote. And I tell people, you know, if you're going to vote, talk to 5 other people and have them go vote, and then they can do a pyramid type deal. Yeah, and early voting, you can go into the little story about Pine Point Township. There's 300 people in Pine Point Township, where the Pine Point School is and the Pine Point community. And the community is run by 36 non-native people. That's the only amount of people that are non-native in Pine Point Township. It's 36 people. And they control over 300. There's 318 in the township total, and over 200 are native, and we are under their rules because they do not allow us to vote. As elders, right now, we work for the League of Women Voters has been in Pine Point twice, dealing with this issue, and this year we're going to try and get that. And I'm asking for help in getting people to the voting where it is, or do. If you're in Pine Point Township and you are in the Pine Point community and you need to go vote, if we have to, we'll get that bus and we'll drive you to Detroit Lakes for early voting. And just bypass them altogether if that's possible. But we need all the votes we can. And if any of you, some of you might not have heard, but Mr. Biden just signed into, he met with Ted Halden, who's the Secretary of the Interior, and they just, he's passed a new rule on the boarding school issue. So the president, before he goes out, he's done this, and I'm very thankful to him. And I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but you news and see where the money comes from. Vote your heart. Thank you.
Sam, I would like to just let you know that our executive director, Lori York, and deputy director, they are taking notes in the law enforcement issue that you're talking about there, Lori. It just should be addressing that with the chief of police and the director of public safety on that issue that you talk about. So everything you just feel that your voice is not being heard. It is being heard, you know, but that's a unique area out there in Pine Point. There's a lot of times we talked about when I was law enforcement, when I would drive out, they actually knew the sound of the police department tires on their cars, and they knew when we were coming out and they knew when we left. So it's very hard to police Pine Point. It really is, unless you make somebody sit out there 24/7. So, and I'm not making excuses for the police department. I'm just giving you my opinion on it when I was the chief of police at that time, even working on boots on the ground even. So I know it is an issue out there, and it is a challenge out there. So we'll like I said, Lori and Curtis are taking notes and they'll address it. Okay.
I know what you're saying. I can go in, I train police officers in Becker County on the reservation. They'd send them out to me to ride along and kind of show them that what they learned in Alexandria police training doesn't work on the reservation. It's a whole different situation. And we call it the moccasin telegraph. Because what you're saying, Mike, is the tires, some of the tires, we call it the moccasin telegraph. We couldn't figure out how they were doing it. One way they did it was the Episcopal Church had a rope that hung down, put out on the outside of the church. Somebody, and the biggest problem we got that really made it bad is cell phones. One person with a cell phone on each end of town, no matter where you come in, somebody's got a cell phone and they post it on Facebook. And that's the problem we've got, and I agree with you there, you know. Originally, I think both buildings originally were supposed to have a police officer stationed out there. Were they?
Yeah, they did, but the problem with putting a satellite station out there is the officer sits in the satellite station. And that's what I'm saying is they're not out. So that's why they have all these computers in their cars, they have all that stuff. They work right out of their cars, so there's no sense even having a satellite station. Because it's just some place for them, in my opinion, to go and hide actually, so. I hate to say it, I'm retired.
Okay, thank you. And Mike and I already discussed the issues of, I found it interesting. I asked him about the two, mini homes in Pine Point. The ones in Whitehurst, I don't know, Rice Lake has the same thing. He said they're not under his.
No,
Where are they under?
They're not, they're under RBC.
Under the RBC?
Yep.
Okay. That question's been brought up to me so many times since they put the two new ones in Pine Point.
So we did discuss that. So Optima Management Company is who's going to be doing the applications. And then like Representative Fox said, we're actually going to have it under a board that oversees, you know, there's a board that oversees it, and then Optima works with the board too. But we will be kept in the loop about them too.
Optima's the property management group.
Okay, thank you.
We're good. Okay. There's somebody here from the commission. Yeah, she's here.
Okay, next up, hang on.
No, you want to go on a community council updates, right?
Yeah, I wanted to.
First.
When we do council updates.
Yeah,
The next one will be the Warriors Elder Commission. Commission update, please.
Good morning. The commission this past year, we have, each one of us commissioners have been picked a couple departments throughout the tribal council and everything. We go talk to those departments and try and get helpful information for the elders, and then take back and share with the council as to maybe rides or information or something. And so we just kind of share it and then share it with the elders that are out there. One of our kind of setbacks is that a lot of the elders don't have, like, a lot of people depend on Facebook, the internet, and they don't have it. I myself have talked to the elders program with the meals and everything to try, and I know years ago they used to slap just a piece of paper with what was going on through the tribal reservation to kind of let people know what was going on the reservation. And so we would kind of like something like that back. But now with the elder sites only being in certain areas, it's kind of overwhelming for the cooks or the program to kind of get all this information out. And I know right now it's getting a busier time, and so there's a lot of information to be sent out. So we're just trying to get that out to the people with either their lunches or just going visiting and telling them, hey, we have this going on and this going on. So the elders are able to participate in various, functions on the reservation. We also had our election. We had a couple of our commissioners, they did their 2-year term, so we had an election. And we got in some new members on the council. Invited in Missy Fairbanks, Stella Devine, and Laura Lee Morales. And then we chose our new officers through this. And so now we're working with some new people and getting them on board and everything, and trying to get our program, get everybody going and everything. We worked on the new budget and everything, and that has been turned into Curtis. A few of the commissioners have attended the TEC meetings, and this past one I wasn't able to attend, but Lori, Stella, and Missy were able to attend, and we just wanted to say, Jeannie, which to the elders for the bus and everything. Colleen, you're awesome. And Tim, yes. Also, I've gone and picked up a bunch of applications for the regularization and everything. We will be having our commission meeting on Monday. And so I'll hand them out to the other commissioners and try and get them out to elders and everything so they can get their weatherization up, snow plowing and everything like that.
Tim and I were just talking, the TV sets that are in the EMP sites. It's my understanding when we got those in there, that was supposed to be to televise information from the RPC or from them to everyone. And this is where, was one of the issues when you brought that up, getting the information out to elders. That's what those TVs were set up were supposed to be set up for.
Yeah.
But they aren't hooked in. For a while they were hooked in, and you could read what was going on the Whiter Station, what the EMP site was doing. All that information was on that TV, and every one of the buildings has got it. So.
Yeah,
you can ask about that.
One on the distribution TV. Another thing was like the food shelves and everything. I've been passing out applications for that to make sure that all the elders get their food and everything. We also had a special meeting with Veronica Newcomer and Christy Haberkamp, and with our new members on the commission. We went over our updated bylaws, which have been approved by tribal council and everything. So we had a special meeting going over them, so everybody kind of understands how the meetings go and everything. Also, I did meet with Mike Heisler and stuff on housing and everything, and just discuss some things with Mike. Primary with elders and everything and stuff. He was very interested in what we had to say and everything, and I'm sure we're gonna, do some good things for the elders and stuff. The next kind of thing is, I know a lot of elders have talked about the vacant lots around the reservation and everything. That, I know that's a land office thing, but, and I've noticed a lot of vacant lots and stuff, and I don't understand the process yet, but I wanted to talk to the land office and stuff, because it just seems like there's so many, and I know a few of them anyway, are people that have been deceased, and maybe they've been passed down to the next family member, or something, but none of these lots are getting anything put on them or being used. And it just seems like they're just sitting there getting overgrown and used for other things, whatever. So, I will be contacting the land office. And I think that's all I have.
Thank you.
Just 1 second, Lori, that guy that met with us the one day about remember they give away, the company would give away a 50-inch TV to elders, and if they did telemedicine, do you have any? I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but.
Yeah, he came with Reed and I don't recall.
Yeah,
what he
we met with an individual who has like a healthcare company that he was wanted to pitch to us that, you know, they would like telehealth from your house.
He's Dr.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, anyways, we'll try to get that information out to you guys, but it's something that they just kind of pitched to us. And I when I looked at it, where they were gonna provide a 50-inch TV so you can do telehealth right from your house, right from your living room, and they can have all these plans for you and all that. And you have to have Wi-Fi and everything also, so that would also be able to go in conjunction with some updates also. So instead of having, I mean, you have a TV that sits at the MP kitchens that are supposed to have this stuff here, why not have one right in your living room that's going to give you the updates? So I'm not promising anything, but we did meet with a gentleman that, and there's other companies out there that do provide this service, but who would turn down a 50-inch TV? Yeah?
What are they gonna charge for the services? They'll get their.
You're so secure. No, I'll just joke. All right, thank you for those reports, everyone. Appreciate it. Next up, we have Wayward Housing. Thank you, Michael.
Yep. Bonjour, everyone. I'm just gonna read my report here and try and keep it as short as possible. I know I can get on a ramble. It's been a busy few months with internal operations, preparing for winter months and the audit. White Earth Housing hosted a crime safety prevention fair in Waubun at the end of August. That was a big success. We had bouncy houses, food, prizes, 415 people registered. And them are just only the ones that are registered, and we heard nothing but good things. So we're continuing to do that yearly, hopefully. I'm gonna put it in this next year's Indian housing plan again. Let's see, where was that here? The goal of that is to engage our community in positive activities. White Earth Housing Authority is working on getting plows installed on our new work trucks to ensure our housing elders will get proper snow removal this upcoming winter. White Earth Housing Authority is working on improving our communication with our tenants by getting out in the communities more with our tenant service staff. White Earth Housing Authority continues to hold preventative maintenance classes, which I feel are going very well, but I'm receiving mixed reviews on our surveys. White Earth Housing Authority recently sent out surveys to Riverland tenants, asking a few questions about your safety and things that we can do better. With your help, with our tenants' help, we're hoping to improve the quality of life in Riverland. So please fill those surveys out. We put an envelope with a stamp on it. If you're a Riverland tenant, please take that serious. On our housing program updates, we have the Shorts program still rolling in Nadawash. That's going really good. I met with the guys at White Earth Builders yesterday. They figure that project's at a 52% completion. They're aiming for the end of December. We're putting in new siding, windows, soffit, fascia, entry doors, roofs, etc. Housing data system is now operating to improve our work orders and our documentation. So that still has a few flaws. It's not working as I planned, but we're working with the company to hopefully get it to where we can get up to 2024 par and take pictures and send things Wi-Fi and send them at the house and have tenant do digital signatures, that type of stuff. Riverland and the Roundhouse, Our cameras that we bought are finally 100% operational, and we did a contract with surveillance. So surveillance can view our Riverland cameras from their offices, and very soon, White Earth PD should be able to view them from their offices. I know there's a lot of rumors running around our cameras didn't work, but that's untrue. Healthy Homes project, we're planning on doing roofs in the towns of White Earth, Callaway, and Elbow. Our ARPA project, I've been working with White Earth builders and land cities, environmental, water and sewers, trying to get that project rolling. Federal Home Loan Bank of Des Moines, we're planning on adding new furnaces and appliances to the units that we're already working on. We applied for a Minnesota Housing Finance single family homeowner grant. We applied for it this summer. We're hoping to hear back by the end of December. Christmas, they told us to tell us that we'll be awarded. I believe I asked for 35 homeowners, non-housing, $30,000 a piece. So we'll let the community know if we receive that grant or not. And I'm crossing my fingers, but the grant writer that he did a pretty good job. So I'm thinking we're gonna get that one too. Then I'm continuing to send employees to trainings for all staff to ensure that they're better at their jobs. We're working on Tax 6 project to possibly work on Riverland apartment. That's up in the air on what's gonna happen, but we did sign a contract with Savoy to utilize going forward on Tax 6 credits. Our vacant units are looking pretty good. We got 0 in Callaway, 0 in White Earth, 1 in Elbow Lake, 2 in Nadawash, 9 at Riverland. That's gonna be getting cleaned up here pretty soon. Rice Lake there's a few, but they'll be 0 by the end of the month. We have tenants moving into them, kind of rearranging after that project, and that project's finally buttoning up. There's just small punch list items that the contractor has to come back and fix. But other than that, that project's done. Pine Point, we got 5 vacants, but we're currently working in units 7 and 8. We've been trying to focus a lot more on Pine Point. It seems that it kind of gets forgotten about, but trust me, it isn't. And to be honest, it's pretty much all I got. It's just business as usual and prepping for winter. So, good for your time and have a good winter.
Hold on, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
We have out in Elbow Lake area where, what's his name? Who's their maintenance director? Wayne Mackey's house. You guys own that again, or is that, it's on, it would be in District 2, it's on the north side of the road. It burnt down.
No.
So you guys don't own that anymore? Okay, all right, okay, I was just double checking, because I thought maybe you guys bought that back. Because that was one of the lots that has water and sewer on it, and has everything on it, and it's just sitting there, and it's
That's that white one that's burnt up.
It's a
right
burnt out
across
one, yeah.
from the T there.
Yeah.
I'm about 98%
No, it's more,
sure
it's
not ours.
right next to like, boy,
I know it.
Willie Anderson's, yeah. I was just double checking if you guys had anything to do with that. If you guys don't, then it would fall back on an RBC to get that cleaned up, so.
I'm pretty sure it's not ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he sold it back to. Yes.
Kids.
Okay. I thought they sold it back to.
Yes.
Yeah, Mike, I appreciate, the surveillance cameras at Riverland. I know that I've been getting a lot of messages from tenants and community members about the activities, and I know I talked to follow up with Merlin Deegan on getting access to their patrol cars, that they can look at them through their cars even when they have time to sit down or look over that way. But eventually, hopefully that we get community cameras up on the roads that we can monitor the streets and who's coming and going. And these are things, I guess, in that area where we look at the crime rates and we look at drug activity and all these statistics that we look at that we protect all of our communities, not only that area, but we look at all of our communities, and these are things that we as tribal council were proactive. So, Miigwech.
I hope.
Okay, next up on the agenda is White Earth Indian Health Service.
I think they provided a report, which is good.
Hi, Rainy Vaughn, and to voice for apologies for not being available.
She's negotiating getting a new provider for the service unit. My name is Brenda Hoverson. I'm the deputy CEO for the service unit. She said she sent the report. I'm not going to report on it. I'm just here to take any concerns back to the report.
Okay, we're good. So next up, we have Anna from the Trevor College. Do you see here?
He's back there. See that big smile back there?
Okay, mine is in your packet, my update. But I just wanted to go over a little bit of that. Last time I was here in July, I said we would have probably an 8% increase in enrollment. We actually doubled that. We went to 60% as of this fall. So that is awesome. So we have put in some pieces. So one of the big thing is we have a strategic enrollment management plan. And so with that, you know, we have some strategies that we're utilizing and putting in place. And I think that's how you see such an uptick. And plus, you know, if you look across, you know, this area, I think every college has a subtle increase, but so we're really excited about that one. Our big one on Monday and Tuesday next week, we have our big accreditation meeting. So with HLC, our compliance review, they are going to be meeting with our board of trustees, and you guys are the official members. So it is Monday at 3:45 to 5 p.m. So I think
you have a Zoom link for it?
no, it has to be in person.
Most of us are gonna yell next week.
Okay, well, just wanted to make sure that you guys got that.
Is that open to the public?
There is a public one, and you should be getting an invite for that one. That one is going to be Monday. I want to say, I think it's in the morning time. So, yeah, I'll make sure that we follow up and get that to you because I know.
Can we have, as board of trustees, can we have somebody sit in for us on the council?
I would say so. I mean,
Because we're gonna be gone, because we're both our board of trustees. And if we weren't gonna be there, could we have like, Lori sit in for us?
Sure.
For information on us? Would you be willing to do it for us?
Just tell them that, you know, they're out and I want to make sure that, you know, they still have support, et cetera.
Monday.
Board of trustees on Monday's meeting. So 3:45.
It's your accreditation meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an important meeting, yeah.
Big one.
That's a big meeting.
Where is it gonna be at?
Right at the college.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's see. So that's the big thing that we have. So this is our great big dog that we're putting together. So there's 5 areas of criterion. The first one is mission. So that's pretty much the history of the college. You know, we'll talk about that one. The second area we need to address is integrity, ethical and responsible conduct. So that's where you guys come in with the board of trustees. So that's the big area, you know, to really hone into. We have provided you the insurance argument, but if you choose to have Laura Lee come, I'll make sure Laura Lee gets a copy of that insurance argument, or if you just want to forward it on to her, whatever works best. The third area that we have to address is the teaching and learning quality resources and supports. That really gets into like our student services area, some a little bit of academics, but we're making sure that we're doing that one. Number 4 is the teaching and learning evaluation and improvement. And so that is definitely looking at our faculty. So we already knew areas 4 and 5, and the final one being institutional effectiveness, resources and planning. That is also another area, but that's more for financial, but that also has a little bit of the board of trustees piece in it too. So I always tell people really look at criterion 2 and also a little bit at 5, but still try to look over all of it on that one. The nice thing about this one, some of our reviewers are from Indian country, so we're excited about that. Even our chair, she's from Single College. We have Polytech also being recognized in here too. And at the same time, we also are having our federal compliance review. So not only are we doing our big comprehensive, they're also deciding to do a federal compliance review. So that's really looking at our Title IV programming which would be from the Department of Education, you know, with Pell and all of those different components. So that breaks it out a little bit more for you in there. I did provide you all the names of the evaluators on that form and who is conducting our federal compliance review. To date, we had to submit by September 30th all of our items with our evidence base. To date, they've only required or asked for 11 additional pieces, so that's kind of good. I've talked to other reviewers and they said that's usually a sign that, you know, things are going well. There's not a lot of concerns. They're not asking for a lot of additional support. So we're taking that as a great result, but we do know that there's areas that we think that can use for improvement. That's one of the pieces I keep talking with the staff is we do want them to come in and validate what we are doing well and areas that we can improve upon. And so that's how we're addressing this. So I'm trying to calm everyone down. As of this morning, I could definitely feel the energy and the nerves on end. And I told my come here, they're all looking at me like, are you really going there? I'm like, yes, I am. They're like, it's major. I'm like, I'm back. But right now I said I had to do this quarterly report. And then just to let you know, we do have a bunch of projects still on the books that we are completing. The big one is the phase 4 additions. I don't know if you've had a chance to look over at the college, but we have lots of activity going on out there. All the concrete has been poured, all the exterior is up, so now they're starting to put the roof trusses on. So it's making good progress on that one. Our chemistry lab renovation, they have the floor ripped out. The plumbers have been in, so they are ready, I think, to look at re-pouring those floors and continue on with that project. The deep winter greenhouse, that has been delayed because some of the pieces that they've recommended aren't as hard to get. So we're kind of having to do some change around, so that is delaying that push out. The solar array has been completed, so we're excited about that. So that's up. The parking lot resurface, that's just going to be pushed out to spring, summer, just because we still have so much heavy equipment driving on there. We don't want to do that until that's completed. The loading dock driveway access, again, that's going to be completed more when all of those pieces get done. The medical simulation mobile unit, we're getting further and further along with that one. We are going to be reaching out to a company. We do have an initial drawing, so we can go out to bid here shortly on that one.
You got on your storage garage, do you have an old storage garage you can give to the elders?
No, this is being built.
I was just double checking, so.
No, we need it. That is, if you go back up to number 7, the storage garage is a requirement. So when we wrote that, we can't write it in, you know, to say that they're also going to fund this. So we have to get creative in how we're going to, you know, build that, because it's part of the requirement, but we did not want to pass this up.
A medical stimulation mobile unit, that's pretty,
Yes.
that's a lot of words there.
And so if you've watched NPR or the Kentucky radio, one of the big things that they said, if you watch BSU, they have, I think they said the last 2-3 years, they're up almost 30%. And the big drive is the nursing program over there. And this unit will be for that program. So we've already partnered or are having a letter of agreement, you know, that we're going to be partnering with them once it's up and going. They'll do our main classes with us. They'll do the rest of the classes with them via distance. And when they have to do the hands-on component, they can do it at our place with the medical simulation mobile unit. So we're excited about that. Lactation pod. Oh, was there a question?
Thank you. You're closer. You almost got it.
Is this better? Perfect. Sorry about that. Okay. Like a singer. Okay, so the lactation pod, again, one of the things that we're running into is not everyone has requirements. So I said we're probably gonna have to with a sole source on that one. One of the things that I do want to make sure that it is ADA compliant, so you can have a, you know, someone with a wheelchair, whatever it may be, in there, and then also making sure that we meet the minimum requirements for the state for those pieces. Number 10 is just about complete. We have cubicle offices. We've installed 10 additional spaces. We are running out of spaces to put people, so this is going to be just a different area. We already have one member who's using it, even though it's not technically ready. We still have to put the electrical component in there, so just trying to get the electrician to come and complete that job. Otherwise, we're in for that one. And then the final thing, just make sure that it's still on your radar. We're still looking to do the trades building. And so I will be going down to the state this year, so I hope.
Are you looking at bonding?
Well, we don't get bonding dollars, but we're gonna ask them, to give us funding to do that. I don't know if we will, but to get into it, we're definitely gonna ask.
Well, how short are you?
The whole amount.
Last time you said you had.
Well, they just came back and said, the one that we thought, they came back and said, when we talked to the higher ups, that they can't do it now.
Oh, okay.
And so that kind of fell through. But we just found out that we were the only group that filled out the paperwork, so I'm trying to go back and get that back in. Because if we're the only one filled out, because that was one of the concerns, is that they have spread, the money out between all these different areas, and if we're the only ones filled out. So that's what we're gonna ask, what happen. So that's the update from the college. Any questions? Comments?
Give us an update on the Elders waivers for the college?
Yes, elders waivers, all you have to do is just reach out to the college, let them know, and you can apply and I'll start the paperwork for that.
Admissions.
Yeah, for the admissions. And then also with the elders right now, we are covering all the books too, for it. So you don't have to pay for anything.
Thank you, and I appreciate that report. That was a lot of information, so. Okay, at this time, we're gonna go on break. So we'll take a 10-minute break. We're gonna get back into session. We gotta be out of here by 2:00 today, so we're gonna get moving. I'll call the meeting back to order, 11:40 a.m. Next up are the community council reports, and first up is the urban office, Minneapolis Urban. Thank you.
Thank you. You do have a full written report there, and I've given you financial statements. There's a quarterly financials, a balance sheet, and a year-to-date in your packet. So I'm just gonna kind of update you what we got going on. My name is Annette Christensen. I'm the treasurer of the council. We had our trip up to the inauguration in August. There's 31 members. Unfortunately, I was in Dallas, so I couldn't come see it, but I heard it was awesome. They enjoyed it. Thank you very much. In August, we got backpacks from Mystic Lake Casino and did a backpack giveaway. We have a lot of backpacks left. So one of our members, who was the counselor of the school, took the rest of the backpacks for students who needed them and didn't have access to any free ones near their community. Our July family picnic was rescheduled to September 21st. We partnered with Chuck and Jen at the Behavioral Health Urban Department. We purchased prizes, and they also gave 2 TVs as prizes. The food was catered by phone. We had about 157 people there. We didn't cook and had previously given the boxes of chips away. We had bought chips to sell at our powwow. That didn't go over so well. And we were going to do them at the picnic in July, but they were getting dated. They would be stale by September. So we just put them in the food shelf or in the MCT building. They've got food for people. So we put it there for them. We received 10 bikes from Choice for Tots last December, but we decided it wouldn't be right to have one child get a bike and then another child get a cheap little gift that were in there. Like there was just a little plastic hockey stick. Nothing else to go with it. So we went shopping last Christmas and bought toys. We put the bikes away, and they were going to be raffled off at the picnic. I wasn't there, and it got missed. So we did a wheel, a live wheel. They spun the wheel. Kids, so we said they wanted bikes, and then so we gave bikes away that way. Our council is down to 3 members. We sent a certified letter to get our REAC assets and records back. I checked online, and the letter was not delivered, as no one was home, and it was not picked up at the post office. So that's coming back to us. Keys were turned in for our office, but we are going to change the office locks to our office, just to be safe. We're working with Andrea to redo our bylaws. Once they're redone, we're going to hold a special election to fill the 2 spots that are open. We're going to change our election process more along the way it's done here. You run for the office instead of one who gets the most points. The one who gets the most votes gets to pick the position they want, which was just really strange. Anyway, so we're going to make changes, and then we'll redo that. So we're starting to plan for our powwow. Our meeting is starting this week. And we're going to come up to the Veterans Powwow to see how it's run. Maybe there's changes we should do. We're planning fall events. We're going to have a family Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to have another youth event with the Toys for Tots. We have a Santa, and it's kind of fun. They come in, they see Santa, get a candy cane, and then we have the tables by ages where the elves, dressed as elves, take them around to go pick a toy. So we do want to extend an open invitation to you to come down. You're always welcome to come to our events. We just ask if you fill out a registration form. We're trying to get a handle on that so we don't buy too much food, that kind of thing. And we have enough. I never want to be short, so we always have extra. And we've posted in the paper. We're trying to get a database going. There's a lot of members in the cities, and we want to be able to reach out to everybody. So I want to get a database, get emails, addresses, and keep it up to date so everybody knows what we're doing. In our bylaws, there's only 7 counties listed. So I was just curious how that came about. We've had people come, well, I'd like to come to these, but I don't live in those counties, And it's like, well, we do invite them. Yes, you can come. But our council has, and it's on the list for you to see there. And I talked to Mike again today to get the name of the tech person to help us get a website. I'd like to create a website where they can actually go online, either on their phone or on a computer, and fill out the forms that we need. Last fall, I submitted forms to get our 501c3 nonprofit status reinstated. When I started, they said we had the status, but they didn't have the paperwork, so I went online and discovered it was terminated. So I got them reinstated. And our intention is to start looking for grants to help fund programs. We have a lot of ideas, but they all take money. I became the treasurer in July of 23. I recorded the activities since then. I will be recreating the books using the past treasurer's list of checks spent January through June, and then filing the 990, which is due on November 15th. I got an extension because the original due date was when I called, and it just wasn't time. Someone called the Attorney General and filed a complaint on our council. So I called the number on the letter. They are not allowed to tell you who called and what the complaint was. But I did have a conversation with them and let them know that we will be filing forms with them once we get our 990 done. And so when you look at the financials there, you will see a negative balance on the one checkbook, but that's because I started to record things from the treasury report. But I just did it in a separate bank account so it wouldn't mess up my current accounting. And that will get fixed once I get it all recorded. So if you have any questions at all, let me know. I'm here if you have questions.
Yeah, like last year, the chairman and myself will be sending a donation fund over to the urban office and the Cass Lake office and part of the Marble office too. So it'll be a three-way split, I guess. We could. I didn't think Louis was here, so I gotta commit to Louis too. So because we had a lot of organization.
Okay, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I do have to pop out. I have to get to a conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that report. Next up is Callaway. Anyone from Callaway here? Okay, next up is Elbow Lake. Iron Range. You want to do Elbow? Our Elbow Lake, Gloria Lee will give us.
So the final summer community picnic took place out in Elbow Lake Village, where the community service officer prepared a really good meal out there. The playground equipment has all been successfully installed out there, and they have an Elbow Lake Halloween party coming up October 26th at 12 o'clock at the EMP Center. So be with.
Range.
The Iron Range is like to thank the RBC for their support. Also like to thank the legal department for the work they've done. The Iron Range, our biggest concerns up there are the health and safety of our elders. Work on that. We're trying to push our programs for snow plowing, yard work, and ride to and from medical appointments and support for that. We've got a few elders that are homebound, so we're trying to get meals brought into them. And another one of our big things is we've got a piece of land up there that was logged without permission. And the legal department has been working with us on that. And the legal department has also worked with us on our hunting, fishing, and gathering rights to trees, which is a big concern for our Range people. We have a big event coming up
at Timberlake Lodge on the 30th, next Wednesday, for constitutional information meeting. Very similar to what we had here a month or so ago. Everybody's invited. We need all the input that we can get. I'd like to have an invitation to the RBC to come up and join us on either November 7th or December 5th. We'd like to discuss a lot of issues with you. And we'd love to see your smiling faces. That's about all I've got.
Which?
Thank you, Louis.
Thank you, Lou. We wish Lou for the report. Next up is Monoman.
No.
They now wash
Yeah, what county, county is
Northeast Gas Lake. Did they have sent something?
Okay.
Never said nothing.
Pine Point.
Sit here.
So the Pine Point Community Council submitted a report. The playground installation construction has been completed. Blinder for circle were ordered, but on half was paid for. Blinder will be powered by batteries and remote control. Pine Point Community Council have to pay for the labor. The bleachers for construction in place at the demo derby site. Porta potties were received. They are currently working with the League of Women Voters on possibly voting polling site in the village for November election. They held the first of 3 cultural camps in the village for the year. That was held on September 28th. 81 people registered. This is from a $18,000 grant provided from Johns Hopkins University Indigenous Health Group and hosting cultural camps through 2024, 2025, and the 2026 years. There'll be a total of 6 camps. At the camp that was held in September, they had moccasin making by Mike Swan, drum making by Dayton Jones, tobacco making by Karen Jones, belt making Nigani Bruner, ribbon, skirt, and shirt making by Katie Robbins and Edith Smith, rattle making Don Here, pipe making demonstration Pete Ellis, teas and salves were done by Terry Leduc. They're looking at a request to do a jingle jazz workshop this winter. The biggest project this fall was the reconstruction of the surface area in the arena at the powwow grounds. They wanted to put down better grass for the dancers. The old sod was taken up and more black dirt was placed down. So the arena was then hydro seeded and they started to water it before the winter. The total cost of the project was $12,623. They want to say which to the donation committee, the health department, and funds raised by the community council and the powwow committee. Future events in the village, they're going to have the trunk or treat event on October 27th, turkey bingo on November 23rd, and community Christmas dinner and party on December 21st. Anyway.
Bryce Lake.
RL, the greatest place on earth.
You covered that in your last report?
Yeah. All right, yeah, Bryce Lake Community Council, we're pretty close with them. Of course, I was on there for many years, and after I left, I had to show them all the ropes. But they're getting pretty good, you know, they help out. They help not only the community events, you know, they help out for like families that struggle, you know, probably with food, sometimes clothing, you know, for the children. I know they just did their demo derby here, you know, beginning of the month. It was a pretty big hit. And then, like I said, Saturday they have their haunted drive through the woods, so come on out, everybody, 6 o'clock Saturday evening, have some hot chocolate, hot cider,
I think they got walking tacos, and Grandpa Guy is also selling his egg roll and everything else, so. A lot of the race lake, you know, we do have the polo grounds back there. They opened it up, you know, so we could actually see back there and all, but there's still some damage, you know, coming to our little building, our little shed we have back there, but we got some cameras, you know, posted up. Cameras at the center are working great, you know, they're getting smile, you're on camera, you know, but they say, well, we can only get them for a gross misdemeanor, and I said, yeah, this guy has a mile long rap sheet, you know. So he still stole gas, so. I mean, they do it all the time, you know, our Boys and Girls Club buses got hit a few times up there already, even when they're on camera, you know. But, I guess that's as far as we could go, you know, with our security, and all our security is hooked into our surveillance system over here, so they're the eye in the sky, so. Yeah. Building, you know, our building is good, you know, unfortunately, like I say, you know, when we have funerals, you know, we have to close down some of the programs there. Which, you know, I know we did talk about it, you know, a couple years back about, you know, getting some buildings, you know, cultural buildings or something for each of our communities. And that would probably take away, you know, taking away from the kids or the Head Start and stuff there. So I am at least gonna push forward, you know, to see out there, you know, build some type of a building. I have the perfect place for it. So again, yeah, Rice Lake is still there, Rice Lake's still moving. They do include, you know, like Pine Bend, Ebro, on their stuff, you know, when they have it. I think we do need, you know, more, I guess, from our Ebro area there, which is growing. Of course, our casino is very close there too, so. But I guess that's all I gotta say on that. Anybody, who's next?
Thank you, Henry. Thank you for the Rice Lake report. Next up is Wabin. Whiter.
Shannon. Oh, yeah, Shannon could. You said Shannon could do theirs.
Yeah, there's a mic here somewhere, Shannon.
Give her the mic. You're in the hot seat. You're in the middle. I want a full report too.
I gotta find that email she sent.
Oh my God, really?
Yes. Search Chinese or Paula.
The community council bought 8 new picnic tables, 6 will be in the new playground, and 2 will be at the center. They also bought a 16 by 20 gazebo that will be built up by the new playground. We have the lumber and the stuff stored at the center. We also bought 3 new bouncy houses that will only be used at the center and can be rented for use at the center only. We will not rent them out for events outside the center. We got new disc golf baskets. They were reordered and will be replaced this spring. Old ones will go to another program. Whitewood Community Council sent an email to District 3 rep requesting a donation from RBC for a computer and printer. We'll be sending out forms for families to send back to do a drawing for 5 full Thanksgiving dinner baskets. We will also be working on the RBC toy giveaway and start handing out forms. We will be busy with that and planning our yearly Christmas party.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Big Rich.
Oh, they're gonna.
Thank you. Good suggestion over there, Fuchsia. Next up is old business. You know, I know we have on old business, we have pesticides and chemical code revisions. Andrea?
Each other. Which one?
What's drain?
This is gonna be drain.
Okay. Dr. Drain, or just drain?
Just drain. So in August, we went to change the pesticide and chemical code and solicited public comment. We received that public comment and made just a slight modification based on the comments. And now the pesticide code is up for a vote by county council. Do you have any questions? I will say that the changes in the pesticide and chemical code are just to conform with federal and state record keeping requirements for what's called restricted use pesticides.
Good.
You need a motion for that?
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion for that amendment, is that what it was, Dre? Or additions or amendments or both?
Amendments.
Amendments for this code. Looking for a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mike Rock,
Second.
second by Laura Lee. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Gary, for that.
Thank you.
Next up is propane. Henry Fox, give him the mic, please.
On propane things.
Oh. You had the wrong one.
Yeah, I guess last year, they give us each, so much money, for emergency help with propane. And of course, this year we're getting hit again already with it, where energy assistance probably won't come in for another 2-3 weeks, so. And the reason why I just brought it up was because my budget is down there. And I helped a couple of years on some furnaces here last week. And then that brought me under $1,000, I believe. So I was just gonna ask, if we were gonna put any more into our budgets to help with that.
I guess Tracy was gonna be here. She had a meeting at 11 o'clock and she was gonna try to get up here, so I think we have to look at what we're quoting everything at, because under that elder homeowner repair, I think we can quote those to a different, because we have an energy assistance fund with the tribal council. We each got $20,000 last year. I'm down to like 13 or 14, and we're all getting down, and the heating season's coming up here, so I think if we looked for some, I think if it's furnace repair and stuff like that, I don't think it would come out of there. So if we take a look at your budget, Hank, and just see if whatever it is. But I mean, I don't know what it would be, what you guys would be requesting. Are you guys going to request another 20,000 this year? Or are you going to request another 10,000? What do you think, Chairman?
I think 10,000 is sufficient.
10,000?
Yes, I'm looking for a motion to approve a $10,000 not an increase, but
in our energy assistance fund.
Energy assistance fund.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mike.
Motion by Mike.
Second.
Second by Henry. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Henry, because I know that, times are coming up where it's going to get cold, and some people, just the way it is, and having hard times and ends meet, and even though that there is, different areas where people do qualify and don't qualify, that criteria, sometimes there are people on that fence, and sometimes it's hard to make that big electric bill or that big propane bill. So, I mean, these are things that I believe that are beneficial to our people and our members, and especially our elders, that we look forward to and serving to them too. So, but Miigwech, and thank you, Council, for that approval.
And what we've been doing is we've been getting them to where energy assistance kicks in. So we've been doing minimum fills. minimum bills until energy system kicks in. Unless there's a situation that we have to maybe do some more. I'll bring the mic up.
I just had one question on, okay, tribal housing for elders and everything. Does the tribe pay for like utilities, electric or things like that if you are in a tribal housing as an elder?
That would have been a question for Mike Heisler.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about, huh? There's subsidies, there is subsidies for that. There's subsidies when you're in tribal housing, but you'd have to talk to Mike Heisler about that.
Misty could have an answer to that.
You can either have a choice.
With my situation, I can either have a choice of them taking care of my utilities or they do some other things, but they take care of all my utilities and that.
So I just wanted to also say that if you are an elder that has a child in your care, you can reach out to Indian Child Welfare for assistance as well.
I didn't know that. Can I borrow your kid? Oh, no.
I like that, Missy.
I got my grandbaby that
I thought you can't have social security card.
Oh, I just wanted to bring this up to tribal council because I've heard a lot of different stories about elders and they're getting paid this for their electric and everything. And I just thought, well, why doesn't all the elders, and I know that, some of them really struggle and everything. But I do have 2 children in my custody, so I will hit up.
What you can also do is each district rep has like we just applied, like we just upped up. You can also reach out to your district rep and find out if you have a past due bill that you needed to get taken care of, electricity, propane or whatever, and they can take a look at it. So that's what we just did here.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that, and I appreciate that, and, these are things that, tribal council, like I said earlier, we support this, we support our members, and we especially support our elders, so. Next up is new business, we're gonna talk about elder gift cards. Laura Lee wanted to add this to the agenda, so give her the microphone.
So I just wanted to have a discussion with the tribal leaders about elder gift cards. It's specifically the Christmas cards. Each Christmas, the elders get $20. I've worked prior to being in this position, I worked for the tribe for approximately 20 years, and it's been when the elders started first getting the Christmas cards, I wanted to say Irma Bisner was probably in office, and it was always $20, and we've seen the increase in inflation and cost of food and everything else, and we haven't the $20 gift card hasn't been reviewed. So I was just gonna bring it up for discussion to request the council to consider upping the amount for the Christmas cards, whether that, $50, $100. So I just wanted to open that up for discussion.
Thank you, Laura Lee. And like we talked about this too, back at the RBC, and we talked about everything what you just described, and for us as tribal council with, increasing our amounts here at the casino, upping it from 20 to 50, and increasing the meal, that's equivalent to $625 a year for our elders. These are increases that we look at and we take into consideration, that we love our elders, we care for our elders, but I'd like to see a motion come from the council today so we can get some information out to our people online and also that are in the room. So I'd like to see one of the council members make a motion for an amount.
I'd like to make a motion to raise it to $100.
We got a second?
I'll second.
Second by Laura Lee. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Here you go,
Got
guys.
Missy Fairbanks.
How'd you, okay, like, because I didn't get it for years, because I didn't know I had to go sign up. I didn't get it until I was almost 62.
You didn't get what?
The elders $20 card. And then when I went down to the.
So you want us to Rex with for 20 years?
Yes, I want back pay.
What's your district rep?
No, but, so do they sign up through the ENP sites? That's where I get it.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I like. New elders coming up, you know that.
Like, that'd be our new and upcoming elders that would have to do this sign up, and our old elders are still signed up.
Yeah.
I believe, I think we did it, Tracy, how do we do that every year? So we, I mean, do they sign up at EMP and then we, you know, 900 times, 900 elders times $100 bill, that's kind of what we did it out.
I believe the program puts out an ad in.
She said the EMP puts out an ad in initial for you guys to apply for the cards.
Okay, but my question is,
Okay.
do you have to reapply every year?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes. Unless you guys have their names on, if you guys, it's up to the EMP, you know, if they have their names already in
Collaborate, come to
yeah, collaborate with EMP.
Okay.
Yeah, because they mail them all.
Yeah, because I've never updated, I mean, I've always gotten mine every year, but I've never had to re-update.
Collaborate with elders program. All right, thank you guys, we appreciate it. It'll be a good Christmas here, we hope so.
Thank you.
All right, next one coming up on the agenda is kind of a interesting one. I know Henry wanted this on the agenda. He wanted to talk about this, you know, a little history about this is, you know, we're at MCT and, you know, we got wind from the legislation committee, subcommittee that Leech Lake went ahead and did a resolution to their tribal council and added Red Lake blood quantum. We've been talking about this for a long time, especially with resolution 3215 from the TEC from back in 2015, that was to allow all unencumbered blood quantum. But the history, a little quick history with Phil Brodeen as our chief legal department, that he described that Red Lake Nation because of the word in their name is Chippewas. We have Chippewa in our tribal constitution. So Leech Lake went ahead and did a resolution to incorporate all Red Lake blood. So today, Henry requested to bring this on the agenda today to bring it up to us that within the next, well, he'll talk about it. Go ahead, Hank. You can read that, Hank.
And Canadian blood. Okay, so we have a letter here dated October 25th. Enrollments in legal department, Wire Reservation Business Committee, regarding recognition of Red Lake Nation blood for Wider Nation enrollment eligibility criteria. So it reads, the White Earth Reservation Business Committee hereby directs the above named governmental departments to research White Earth Nation recognition of Red Lake blood for addition to the White Earth Nation's enrollment eligibility criteria. So that goes along with the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe Constitution Article 2. Describes the requirement for membership as a person having a certain degree of Minnesota Chippewa Indian blood. The MCT ordinance limits eligibility to a person having a certain degree of blood from any of the 6 constituent bands of the Minnesota Chippewa tribe. Recently, another MCT band determined the MCT enrollment ordinance is in conflict with the intent
of the MCT Constitution. Additionally, the Red Lake Nation Enrollment Office has worked cooperatively with this band to certify Indian blood. Based upon this information, the White Earth Business Committee approves its enrollment and legal departments to seek further information, including information from MCT and Red Lake Nation, and report back to the RBC with findings and recommendations.
Very good, Henry. Thank you so much for reading that. You know, so the next probably 10 days, we're going to be reviewing this. So we might be doing a special meeting here probably in about 2 weeks to look at this, to review this. You know, I know that, you know, at the MCT level, the TEAS level, we've been struggling with 3215 and how we're going to do it, and with, you know, with the criteria of trying to go through a referendum without going through, you know, with the secretary. You know, I know Leech Lake committed themselves to doing this, and they incorporate this into their enrollment division. So I know that talking to Phil Brodeen again, you know, and I think the tribes know that his opinion, and he's getting information to us too. So it's something that we're really pursuing too. We're looking at incorporating into our blood. So this is something that I hope that we can have some language for you within 10 days, a week to 10 days. Hopefully get some out to the tribal nations that we're going to be accepting Red Lake Nation blood. So, and I got Shannon Heisler here too from our enrollments department. We've been in contact with Shannon, getting numbers on what it's going to, you know, what it's going to affect us and our kids, especially our children that are just a little bit below. You know, if they do have Red Lake quantum in there, that's something that we're going to boost that, and there's going to be a lot more enrollees coming on board with us, you know. So it's something I think it's a positive thing for us, and especially, like I said, this whole criteria of these kids that are Native Americans, but they're so slightly short of becoming 25% is something that we can do. Remember, we can do without going through a referendum or going through all that stuff through our Minnesota Board tribe, to something that White Earth Nation and our tribal council. So we do want to hear feedback. We do want to hear from, you know, and especially we'll get information out to our membership too on this. So it's something that we're excited about. You know, I think that's something that we're really looking forward to the next meeting. So I want to say Miigwech, and thank you, Henry, for reading that, and the council members can talk too. So I appreciate that. Miigwech.
I just wanted to give a quick update at the MCT. This Article 2 there needs to be an amendment. There needs to be a change to it. So we have until January. Our next quarterly meeting for the MCT is going to be in January. So, or either December or January, late December or early January. So when I talked to Phil, and being the president of MCT, we talked a little bit about what this meant with a resolution coming from Leech Lake. And even if we come up with a resolution from White Earth and any other 6 bands that want to recognize Red Lake blood, there's going to be an amendment to Article 2 of the MCT Constitution. And as a TEC, we will take care of that and bring that to their attention in January. So I think we have some time to research this and get to the membership, to have the membership give an input on it, what they think about it. So Miigwech, everybody.
Thank you so much for that, and we're excited. So next up, we have the consent agenda. Hang on, let me read this out to you. Okay, in the consent agenda, we have administration. We have the 2024 Veterans Powell budget, behavioral health. We have target opioid use and prevention grant amendment, mobile crisis service unit agreement and resolution, Arrowhead Place office lease agreement. For education, we have child variance request, White Earth infant and toddler centers, biannual report for IDEIA Part B and C, supported for Indigenous knowledge and language resolution. For finance, we have the 206, the 210 Main Street demolition with Natural Resources Fisheries Campus renovation, with the Tribal Health Department food damage and lower level remodel. We have the Scatterbrainy Homes Department, District 2 and 3, CM Builders contract. We're going to do Mid Lodge demolition certificate of substantial completion. We have Norman Boys and Girls Club replacement of RTU. We also have the Tribal Health Department upper level remodel notice of awards and resolution. For health, we have the 2025 dental contract and resolution. Also, we have the Minnesota DHS money follows the person grant and amendment. For human services, we have the family violence and service domestic violence shelter and supportive services notice of awards and resolution. We have the FHPAP amendment, $600,000 resolution. Also, we have the Minoman Family Shelter Housing Support Agreement resolution. For judicial, we have the GOTTV coordination grant or contract with TM. On natural resources, we have Intertribal Agricultural Council resolution. We have NPCA deconstruction of building and reuse grant application. We have the Woodland Fire Crew PPE funding request. For Public Works, we have the Rice Lake Wastewater Notice Award. Also, we have the FY 25 to 28 Tribal Transportation Improvement Plan. And also we have Clint's Well Service Contract. Ratification, we have health, we have a grant ratification for courts, we have the 2025 DPS grant. Public Works, we have Nato Wash Board Construction Contract and Resolution. We have Raleigh Plumber Council Agreement, their support for the National Native Centers of Excellence. And also we have a BIA, I want to say, letter of support for tribal governments and the Office of Self-Government.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I would like to respectfully requesting to move 3 of these items into executive session for further discussion. And they are the Tribal Agriculture Council Resolution, the MPCA deconstruction, and the Rice Lake watershed, or wastewater, for discussion.
Into executive session?
Yes, in the executive session.
What's the first one?
Intertribal Agriculture Council Resolution, that's under natural resources.
Okay, all right, those two.
And then the MPC deconstruction,
Well, all 3 of them.
and then under Public Works, Rice Lake wastewater.
Okay. Motion to approve the consent agenda with the changes.
Motion.
Motion by Laura Lee.
Second.
Second by Henry, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. I want to say thank you everyone for joining us today and eating with us a couple times, and hope you're full, and it's a good time to see everyone, and good news today that we're looking at some different things and improving things, and it's really good to see our elders here and participating in our tribal governance. This is what it's about, is being a part of this, and this is one thing that we have, all 5 of us here, that we be as transparent as we can. We're recorded on YouTube here. We have everyone can zoom in if they want to watch us, and and this is something I think is very important to not only to us as a tribal nation, but also our membership that's out there that wants to watch us. I want to say be rich and have a great weekend. Have a good time. Stay safe.
Motion to move into executive session.
Motion to move into executive session. Motion by Henry.
I'll second.
Second by Laura Lee. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. We're good.
Oh, I don't know.
I was motioning.